Selwyn Cobbo gets his chance to play in his more favoured fullback jersey. We'll wait and see how long it is before he gets a chance to play there full-time in the NRL. If he does, it may not be with the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, this kid's going to be a superstar. There's no doubt about that. Cobbo, a hat-trick last week. Can't wait to see him handle the ball.
Stay on.
Multiple times. Here's the kick-off now from the Broncos.
A good crowd here on the Sunshine Coast. Warm conditions. No thunderbolts or lightning and all the drama we saw at Penrith. What a finish to that one. As the Cowboys will work it away here from inside their own 20. McLean playing it. Here is Nanai, who takes it up towards Carrigan. Billy Walters in the hooking role and dummy half duties tonight to get things going for the Broncos after splitting those duties with Jake Turpin and Corey Pakes at stages during 2022. Jason Taumalolo playing it 10 short of the halfway line. Here's Cohen Hess, who was exclusively a middle third player in 2022, starting on the left edge tonight for Todd Payton as Ruben Cotter takes it across the halfway line. Speaking of breakout players from 2022, he was outstanding. Goes back, here's Drinkwater. The entire starting 13 for the Cowboys rested last week in that effort against the Dolphins. The kick goes into touch, so they're fresh and ready to go here tonight against the Broncos. We'll see how they fare.
Yeah, just didn't really like the end of the set there from the Cowboys. It was a good start from them. Some powerful forward running. The ball going out. The Broncos get their first opportunity. Just going to be a big ask. There's always something happens in these games. Always a thrilling end to it. I hope it's going to be a great game of footy, this one.
Two very strong lineups. The Cowboys have named just the 20. So it's very much their top flight players with a few, of course, exclusions through injury. But they've got plenty of the stars on show here tonight as the Broncos play it through Payne Haas. Now Carrigan goes to Ezra Mann, came up quickly. He got past Jeremiah Nanai, who left a hole. It closed quickly through Chad Townsend. Now Carrigan bullocking his way towards the line. Robson was there to stop him. Comes back to Corey Jensen, and he'll take it down just inside the Cowboys 10. A couple of minutes gone. One more play here for Brisbane. Nam again, Grubbers. Capewell is there, and they score first time. They go inside the 20. Beautiful work by Brisbane, and well summed up by Ezra Mann for Kurt Capewell.
Gee, it's a great sign there for the Brisbane Broncos. The first time early in the game that they've been down in the 20. It's a wonderful player, Capewell. Just got the ability just to skip on the outside. Good chase. They had Cobbo out the back. I think they overread it that time, the Cowboys. Just looking for Cobbo out the back there. And that is a great opening from the Broncos. They wanted to start well against the little brothers here. Capewell gets over the stripe.
Ezra Mann, bright start from him as well. Line bust, put the Cowboys on the back foot. He summed it up beautifully for Kurt Capewell to just roll it into the end goal. Capewell coming through, coming off the back of a shoulder rehab during the pre-season, the off-season. Number of Broncos coming off shoulder surgery procedures. Heading into 2023, he chose not to go under the knife, Kurt Capewell, just chose to rehab the issues that he had. And there's a fairly expensive halfback watching on with Kevy Walters and John Cartwright tonight in the Broncos coach's box. Adam Reynolds out with a back injury to begin. We'll see if he's going to be right for round one in just over a week and a half's time.
It's great to see someone able to take over the kicking. Reynolds, we know how he controls games of football. That is a brilliant start there after the Brisbane Broncos kicked off. It wasn't a bad set from the North Queensland Cowboys. The first time that they're down here. Great signs for the Broncos to score the opening try.
So it's Katoni Staggs taking it back a fair way outside the 20. The kick doesn't have much angle on it. He pilots it between the posts, and the Broncos lead the Cowboys 6 points to nil. We'll get downstairs for the first time to Jake Duke.
Good evening, guys. A great start to this game from young Ezra Mam. He was actually dropped in the last round of the competition last year against the Dragons. So good to see him start this season really well. Broncos fans will be happy about that. But as for the conditions here tonight, guys, beautiful 25 degrees, barely any breeze around. And the Queensland fans, they have come out in force. It doesn't matter if it's a pre-season game or a grand final. When the Broncos play the Cowboys, the fans are here. 10,000 in the house tonight. That is a sellout.
Now it is a big crowd, and here's the restart, which goes too long. It's double jeopardy for the Cowboys, but Val Holmes a bit too much mustard on the restart. It goes dead on the full, and the Broncos will come right back at them for a second crack.
Gee, that's a great play here for the Brisbane Broncos. They'll go straight away on the attack. Only been down in the 20 once and been able to come away with a try early in the game. They'll go straight away. They'll be confident here. Not the greatest kick for touch. 40 out now.
Okay, both feet behind it. Both feet.
They'll begin in Cowboys territory. Second chance. They're 1 for 1 already as Jensen takes it forward. And Walters. It comes across to Carrigan, who an angled run picked off there by Robson and also Cohen Hess. Numbers to this left-hand side with Jock Madden in the starting side, the former Tiger, in that halfback role for Adam Reynolds here tonight. As Haas will play it. Eventually, going to go back to his feet there in the tackle of Jordan McLean. Carrigan, plenty of touches, now an offload. Walters, a little show. Not fallen for by Jason Taumalolo, it has to be said, has stripped enormously fit. Maybe as light as we've seen him to begin a season in the NRL. Mam goes to Capewell. Townsend was too high, and that is the call.
Boys, it would have been a 6 again as well for 10 metres.
Penalty from close range.
He's very good at picking out. Well, Capewell got the first try there for the Broncos. He's the man that can pick out the little halfback there. 3-man in Townsend. Comes off his line. He's a courageous little fella, but he tackles too high there. The Broncos with another opportunity.
So it's Jensen to take it towards the uprights as Walters looks to his right-hand side. He goes to Payne Haas, charging hard, trying to spin there, and Cotter was underneath with some help over the top from Drinkwater to hold him up. Mam, Townsend came up quickly. Mam stays alive. Too quickly was Chad Townsend. He was offside, and so it's a set restart for Brisbane. Mam will play it. Looks dangerous, doesn't he, on this left edge from Madden. Comes back to Carrigan. Takes it inside the 20 as Walters looks over his left shoulder. Pushing up in support. Walters has a crack himself. Sliding, not much doing there as he ran out of options. So they'll just burn a play there. And they've used up 3. 5 metres out. Cobbo gets the dummy half. Goes to Madden. He's right back to where Walters played the ball. Nothing doing there. Good tackle made by McLean. Here's Carrigan looking to his left-hand side. Well, they've really lost their compass here. 3 plays where nothing happened. 1 out stuff. All this territory, and they haven't offered a lot in this set, it has to be said. Madden, rubbering, a ricochet, goes back to Cobbo. He fends away from Taulagi and reaches out.
It's okay.
How long are his arms? Selwyn Cobbo plants it down and scores a second for Brisbane.
Well, he backed himself too, didn't he? Got on the outside, as you said. It wasn't a great set there from the Broncos. 3 tackles for just nothing. Cobbo gets a ricochet here. Crossfield kick. Scoops up the footy and then backs himself. That's what I like about this guy. Gee, reminds me of Greg Inglis. I reckon everyone will be saying it. Look at this for a try. I've seen Inglis score a number of tries like this. Pretty lucky. Gets on the outside, defend, beats a couple of tackles, stretches out, and that is freaky. Not many blokes in the NRL would score that try.
He just backs himself here, and with the cover coming across, reaches out and plants it down. Cohen Hess has his legs, but he spins him, and the legs, the feet at least, are in the air when the ball hits the line.
Gee, you hit it right on the head. I love the way that he backed his pace to get on the outside of a couple of Cowboys players coming across. Hess was one of them, and just stretches out, backs himself. He knew he was going to score there. It's a freakish bit of play there after he scored a hat-trick last week. First time that he's really touched the ball here this evening, and he explodes.
Well, he scored 3 tries in the space of 12 minutes last week as the Indigenous All-Stars ran away with that win against the Maori All-Stars. And he's picked up from where he left off last week to make it 10 points to 0 to Brisbane. The ricochet just came straight off the legs there of Cohen Hess. But Selwyn Cobbo flush on the chest, and in the one motion he was off and running. And while he had support and the cover was coming across from the North Queensland Cowboys, he too big, too quick, and the arms certainly too long to reach out and plant it down on the line. The conversion missed by Cantoni Staggs, but it's a double-figure lead here early on the Sunshine Coast for the Broncos. Watch it again, straight to him. A big fend on Murray Taulagi. He's a young superstar in the making.
Well, what a superstar he is. Only a young fella. That's his 18th try in 26 games. So what about that for a strike rate for a young fella? Playing at fullback this evening. It looks like nothing phases him. He looks like he's enjoying his footy.
Let's hope that's the case in 2023 after a mixed end to last season. Here he is making the catch. Payne Haas brings it out, and we go downstairs once again to Jake.
Was you were talking about that end of season for Selwyn Cobbo, obviously the infamous podcast, the comments about his coach Kevin Walters, but Kevy spoke about it this week. He said it's water under the bridge here at the Broncos. He and Selwyn have spoken. They are all good, and he's been really impressed by the way he has handled the pre-season. So that's good signs for the Broncos. He's in that #1 jersey tonight. Reece Walsh touch and go for round 1. So that'll be interesting competition for that jersey as the season goes on.
What a handy replacement he is to take over from Reece Walsh. Walsh, who's relinked with the Broncos in 2023, is unavailable for round #1 as Walters goes back for Madden under pressure there from Robson, who was coming out quickly. There was a bump. The referee is okay with the contact as Taulagi brings it out, and he'll be driven backwards in a strong tackle here by Staggs and also Jordan Ricky. Heard the call of held from the referee, and they eventually drop off on the effort. So 10 minutes got. 10-0 it is. Broncos over the Cowboys. Cohen Hess met there by Carrigan. Also Ricky. Stopped him in a hurry. Now Kyle Felt. He'll work at midfield. Looking for a one-on-one strip there was Kurt Capewell. Couldn't come away with the ball. And now Robson links with Cotter, and Billy Walters has forced a mistake.
One-on-one.
You heard the referee say one-on-one, and it will be a knock-on as a result against Billy Walters. Unlucky there not to come up with possession for Brisbane.
Yeah, I do like their front on the fence early in this game, led by Carrigan. Get that experience with that Kangaroo tour in the off-season. Looks like he wants to lead the pack here. It's been a sloppy start here from the Cowboys, but they will get the ball back now.
Pat Carrigan said, I've got a State of Origin medal, a little World Cup medal. One thing missing is a premiership with the Brisbane Broncos. He wants to set that record straight as soon as possible. And there for Peter Hiku, who got up clutching just above the eye there after that contact. And the tackle beyond the scrum as McLean takes it forward. Off contract at the end of 2023. Very good 2022 season. He was on the edge, of course, of New South Wales representation until he tweaked a hamstring. That was a real gut punch for Jordan McLean. Townsend at the line. He helped turn around this Cowboys attack last season. Likewise, Drinkwater in the fullback role. Here's McLean again and gets an offload. Robson is there. So's Deard, and the former Bronco himself, Valentine Holmes. He cuts through. North Queensland hit back, and the offload set them in motion.
Yeah, geez, a much improved player. He's always been good, hasn't he, McLean? But the last couple of seasons, under the coaching of Todd Payton, just the ability to stand in the tackle and offload. But we talked about class with Cobbo, but watch as soon as Valentine Holmes gets the ball, gets caught flat-footed, Cantoni Staggs, just a wonderful footwork at the line. Cobbo can't make the tackle to finish. Here's the offload, the one-hander, 3 in the tackle, a little offload. Robson knows straight away what to do to get the ball to the edge. Straight to Valentine Holmes. You're not going to stop him there. Talk about class players and footwork. Tony Staggs got caught in the seat there, flat-footed, and just the footwork of Holmes finishes it off.
And I love that, of course, you old front rower, Stephen. See Jordan McLean provide that offload there and set them alight on that left-hand side, and well summed up by Tom Dearden. Valentine Holmes reacted quickly as well to put himself in that space on the outside there of Tony Staggs, and now try and convert his own try to make it a 4-point difference. 3 tries in the opening 13 minutes or so of game time here tonight. Warm, dry conditions, fast track, tailor-made for some attractive rugby league, and that's what we've had here so far this evening. Big crowd as well, really lapping it up. And this final hit out before we get underway on March 2. Season proper. Holmes from out wide. Boy, he kicks them as straight as anybody in the competition. Great conversion from out wide. As the Broncos 10, the Cowboys on the board with 6 points.
It looks like exactly what they needed to get themselves going after they didn't complete early. The North Queensland Cowboys, the Brisbane Broncos got the jump on them, leading 10 points to 0. McLean with the offload back to Robson. Now Robson knows straight away what to do. Didn't try to make any yards, straight away shifts the ball. Valentine Holmes with that little bit of footwork. Tony Staggs caught flat-footed. The Cowboys are in.
Beaten preliminary finalists from last year, the Cowboys on the board, Jake, and here is the man who set them up, Jordan McLean.
Yeah, and what a point-scoring effort from Valentine Holmes. He continues where he left off last year. He was the top point scorer in the NRL, 244 points, the most in the competition, but also the most by a Cowboy in the club's history. That's pretty impressive when you consider the fact that one Jonathan Thurston played for the Cowboys for a very long time.
The stellar season he had, Val Holmes. Cohen Hess brings it back here to almost the halfway line. Stopped there by Jordan Ricky as Drinkwater. He revolutionised the attack after replacing Hamiso Tabuai for Doe in the fullback role, and from that point on, they're a different outfit, this Cowboys team. Coming forward, Corey Oates. He makes a good catch. He's off contract at the end of 2023, but he does have an option in his favour for 2 more seasons until the end of 2025, and he played some great football last year.
He scored 20 tries last year. It was great, only second in the league. So he played some good footy last year, attacking the football. That's what I like. Cobbo getting himself involved again.
Well, took on Reece Robson there, and Robson hit him with everything as Walters almost missed the football. Jensen comes up with it. And the Broncos have it for one more play here from just on their own side of halfway. Mam got the kick away in time. Might have been some contact there with the Cowboy coming through. Again, no whistle from the referee as Drinkwater tries to step around the outside of Jock Madden, who got some help from Jordan Ricky, and he'll play it there inside the Cowboys 20. 2 tries to 1. Talangi coming in field for a carry. Nobody scored a more spectacular try than his effort against the Tigers in Magic Round in what was the last game of round 10 last year at Suncorp Stadium. An unforgettable put down. Townsend's kick will find the line inside the 20. He's happy, so are his teammates.
He's got a wonderful sense of a kicking game. He really puts the Cowboys in great field position. This time he got it on the front foot. There's no chase on him here. Look, quick play the balls. The kick downfield, backs himself. Oates was caught up in field, gets the kick over the top. Cowboys get the attacking zone again here.
They begin with Cotter, who works it towards the uprights. A long way in a hurry in 2022, all the way to Origin Rugby League as McLean takes it down, some 3 metres out from the line. He goes to this left edge where Dearden, he finds Cohen Hess. Stopped by Payne Haas, maybe only just. Almost got to the line there, spinning his way towards the in-goal area, did Cohen Hess. Taumalolo, Townsend, quick hands, Drinkwater, hemmed in there by Farnworth, who came up quickly and stopped the ball going from Drinkwater to anybody on his outside. Robson, Taumalolo, He just charges hard, stopped by Ricky around the legs, and the Cowboys have one last play from Robson to Townsend. He'll chip it out wide. Felt is there up against Corey Oates. It's still there, eventually taken dead by Kurt Capewell. And the touch, no touch from Kyle Felt, all off Corey Oates is the call. They'll get a goal line dropout.
Yeah, there's always contesting the ball, isn't it, from the crossfield kick here. Oates gets the first jump. Felt goes, there's the knock on. Lucky that he's there, the back rower. And Capewell there just to clean up, kick the ball dead in goal. Just to see whether he gets a little bit of the heebie-jeebies now. Oates, we've seen it before. I reckon they'll keep peppering that side, the left-hand side there of the Broncos.
It's a good contest between the two big wingers, isn't it? Kyle Felt and Corey Oates. Speaking of big, Jordan McLean is tall as anybody on the field. Brings it here down just outside the Brisbane 30. Robson for Cotter. Now pushing up there, almost as the decoy. Capewell runs around the ball for a moment, thinking about a one-on-one steal. Townsend looks in, goes out to Taumalolo. Well handled though by Ricky. In the red zone. Taken 3 plays to get there. Townsend did well reaching out. Drinkwater. He finds Hiku. Plenty of maroon and gold jumpers though in front of him. They take him down pretty comfortably. Felt at dummy half. 4 plays gone in their set. Townsend, nothing doing around him. He'll create something himself though. Links with Dearden, and the ball knocked down by Katoni Staggs. The Broncos have another set coming up.
Well, I reckon Kevy Wallace will be pretty happy about that. Defending the 40-20 first and then another set. And that's great defence. They got up in their face there, just knocks the ball down. The Cowboys, you can ill afford to give them ball. They're always at you. Great attacking side. And there's Staggs with the hand out. He was in a little bit of open space there again in Valentine Holmes.
Really nothing doing there for Chad Townsend until he floated back to his left-hand side, and suddenly he did and almost created something again. A touch there. Came off Drinkwater, and the call is going to be a knock-on.
First Brisbane, we on.
The knock-on, though, is going to be against Brisbane. I would have thought the touch from Drinkwater might have propelled the ball towards the opponent's goal line. Watch this again. Definitely touches his arm there, but they're going to say that was backwards, and then the touch from Oates, it certainly went forward. So knocked backwards by the Cowboys, knock on by Corey Oates and the Broncos.
I reckon Kevy Wallace will be looking at this too. Their on-goal defence. A penalty there. Someone's back-chatted to the referee there. He's not going to stand for that by the look of it.
I dare say somebody said surely there was a knock-on from Scott Drinkwater, sir. Maybe in a bit more forthright terms. 10-6. They tap it and go. Here's Jason Taumalolo. Signed until the end of 2027. They've both got him and Nanai. Robson loves a shot from dummy half. He lost it. And the contact there. Trying to fool the Broncos, but they were ready at marker, waiting for him. He's a specialist. The big dummy and go from dummy half. This time they were waiting for him, and the ball just came free.
Well, they've done their homework, haven't they, the Broncos? It's the 3rd set that they've hung on in their goal line. Kevy Wallace will be happy about that. The show and the go back to the blind side. Just hits up under the ball there, Capewell. Scored the first try for the Broncos. Cleaned up in the in-goal area and now makes an important tackle.
Nervous. Pensive up there in the Broncos box, watching on as they survive that raid. A couple of sets in succession for the Cowboys for no result. Boy, Oates met there by Reuben Cotter. Just threw himself at Corey Oates. So they play the ball. Now Farnworth taken by Robson. He was keen to go, trying to make up for the mistake a moment ago. And he's just rushed up again like Cotter before him, but this contact was certainly high.
Yeah, just got fired up for the tackle before from Cotter. Just thought we'll put them back to back and try and get the Broncos not going anywhere. There's the arm, loose arm, left arm up around the chin. And the Broncos get off their goal line.
So it's Carrigan to get things going. 22 gone in this opening half. The Broncos began with a burst. 2 tries in the opening 8 minutes. Warren Smith, Steve Roach, Jake Duke, bringing you all the action tonight. It very much is the nightcap, isn't it? Late start New South Wales and Victorian time, just before 8 o'clock Queensland time here on the Sunshine Coast. And play got underway. Ezra Mann, he was a big part of those 2 tries for the Broncos to get things going. Now a chance for Jensen. Link up with Colbo. Mr. Robson, Townsend. Eventually they take him down. 2 plays left in this set. Carrigan charging. At the advantage line, it goes to Mam on the right-hand side now. Switching sides with Jock Madden, who's there barking at first receiver. Indicates a kick might be going. Out towards Corey Oates. He can do it again. A rematch here between Oates potentially and Felt. Felt got there. Not in time. Capewell back to Corey Oates. Brisbane have a 3rd try. That was the kick from Jock Madden. Not cleaned up by Kyle Felt, who got there late. And the tap-on work from Kurt Capewell was very good.
Yeah, Capewell summed it up pretty quickly here. Kyle Felt getting one back. Just trying to attack the ball. The ball knocked back there. Straight away, he knew exactly what to do, Felt. Gets the ball on the outside to Corey Oates. Gets the try. They've contested for that high ball. And straight away, he likes it too. They're under all sorts of pressure up the other end of the field on the back of a penalty for a high shot. Get down here and they get the points.
3rd try for Brisbane. Corey Oates, 118 tries and 4th most in the Broncos' history. Had to work hard over a couple of different seasons to remain a Bronco. Wasn't that long ago. He seemed to be on the outer in the River City. He was able to back himself a couple of short-term contracts. And as we said, is off contract at the end of this season, but does have that option in his favour.
Got the great ability to find the line, hasn't he? You almost back once he gets the ball close to the line in those sort of situations that he's going to score. Hungry to score tries, Oates. It's a good hit back from the Broncos after under all sorts of pressure up the other end of the field. Kitty Wallace will be happy with their defence so far on goal.
Staggs from the sideline. He's taken it back almost to the 30-metre line. Distance isn't a worry, not when you've got legs like that. What a solid unit he is. He splits the uprights and makes it 16 points to 6. Who needs Adam Reynolds when you've got Tony Staggs kicking like that?
It was a wonderful strike of the ball too. As soon as it left the boot, powerful, as you mentioned. Tony Staggs taking over the kicking tonight. He hit that one beautifully.
Back down to you, Jake.
And speaking of Corey Oates' try-scoring ability, he actually finished season 2022 as the 2nd best try scorer in the competition behind Alex Johnson. He had 20 tries, which was more tries than he scored in the previous 3 seasons combined, if you can believe that. And just on the Cowboys, guys, last year was actually their 2nd best season in terms of points conceded. They only conceded 16 points a game. They've conceded 16 points in the first 25 minutes here, so you imagine their coach Todd Payton will not be happy at halftime about that.
That'll be a focus for all 17, as we now have coaches heading into 2023. The fans love what you do with the ball. It's the coaches who are impressed by what you do without the footy. And Carrigan it is, who takes it across the 30-metre line. 15 remaining in this first half. Walters goes one way, cuts back to the other side. Fancy will see the young 18-year-old backup hooker in Blake Moser on the other side of half-time. Enormous raps on him. Signed with the Broncos until the end of the 2025 season. And the talk is he may well be a long-term hooker at the Broncos, if not the Queensland Maroons, if not Australia. They say he is that good.
Oh, I can't wait to see him.
Enormous potential. Drinkwater. A good chance to see him in action here tonight. There he is, watching on. He'll have the headgear on at some stage in the second half. Another product from Keebra Park State High School. How many have they produced?
Heaps, haven't they? Good looking fella too. I'd be taking a photo of myself playing my first game, and I wonder what he'll look like in 10 years' time.
Jason Taumalolo still looks pretty good, doesn't he? Ruben Cotter getting a breather as well. Likewise, Jordan McLean. So, well, now here's another piece of dissent from the Broncos. Second time tonight. They've been pinged for somebody having a bit too much to say. Was that just Pat Carey or a whisper in the referee's ear?
I warned you here, and another penalty. Any more, players will sit down.
Payne Haas, in the word from the referee, he says to the boys, that'll do. We'll see what happens. The Cowboys here to begin at the Broncos 30. Trailing by 10 points. Brisbane have been impressive. They're opening not quite half an hour here this evening. Townsend comes back to James Tamo, who is back in Cowboys colours. His stint with the Tigers comes to an end.
Trying to play too quick.
Panthers before that.
They got to get time to get out, mate.
First touch. That's not the homecoming he was looking for.
No, just trying to play the ball a little bit too quick.
Shot clock on.
Tamo apologised to his teammates there, the first touch. Put himself in an awkward position, just trying to get down and play the ball as quick as he could. Just a little bit of fumble there. Relieve the pressure again there for the Broncos. They really haven't been able to mount a lot of pressure, the Cowboys, so far. They've been a little bit sloppy to start this game.
Oates it is who plays it now. Farnworth. That bicep rupture last season cost him a lot of game time in the second half of the season. Great form before that, though, was the way back to almost the halfway line here. Marty Taupau is on deck. The former Marty Taupau, now Marty Taupau, and he's out there in 17 for the Brisbane Broncos. Second hit out in the pre-season. The former Seagull, former Tiger, former Bulldog as well. Here is Walters grubbering. It goes down to Valentine Holmes. He cleans up inside the Cowboys 10. And they'll work it away here as Taulagi comes in for a carry.
Yeah, they just missed the jump there with Billy Wallace. I don't know whether he told the players that he was going to put a grubber kick through there. Just missed the jump. Didn't get through there quick enough. It's all right to kick in those sort of positions, but your outside men have got to know that you're going to do it.
Now Griffinine runs at Walters. Kiwi here, 20 short of the halfway line. Tamo played 170 games in that first stint with the Cowboys, beginning back, of course, in 2009 when he made his debut. Townsend from inside the 40. He already produced one 40-20. This one, though, not the angle on it. So it's Oates to bring it back. Nanai was there, who made contact with him to bring him down. Hiku finished him off. And now here's Townsend very quickly off the line again. They put pressure on Ezra Mam, and they've got a result.
Where'd you like the scrum, Payne?
I think Hiku's knocked on here.
He got the first touch. Is that the way the referee has seen it? As Farnworth spins, might have been a dead heat. But the call is knocked on by the Cowboys. Billy Walters does go back to the bench.
It's a great start by Carrigan too, sitting next to Billy Waters on the bench, trying to lead this Broncos pack. Ran for 86 metres in his first stint.
And Corey Pax is out there, taking over from Billy Walters. Three hookers in the lineup tonight for the Brisbane Broncos, who come with a 22-man lineup. With the omission of Adam Reynolds, they added Josh Rogers, the 5'8" from the Burleigh Bears, to their lineup after he got a taste last week in that draw against the Titans. Pakes from dummy half. Goes through the hands there of Keenan Palacia. Madden almost got away from Tamo. He'll play it just inside the 20. Last here for Brisbane. Man, rubbering again. Under pressure, Drinkwater has to play at it. It's a pass away to Dearden on the back of the dead ball line, just about. Wrapped up there by Ricky. And good work by the Broncos to get themselves another set of 6.
He's a confident player, man. He's had a great start to this game. taken over the kicking duties from Adam Reynolds, who isn't playing here this evening for the Broncos. I like the way that he's attacking the line, takes the ball right to the line with the grubber kick. They had to play it at that time.
Drinkwater goes short. Nanai is there. He's a noted leaper, comes down with it, running all the way almost back to the halfway line. What a result for North Queensland.
That's a huge play, isn't it? That was deliberately put on the dime there, straight away for Nanai. And upfield he marched. Great play. Can't he take a ball?
That was a slow reaction from the Broncos receivers, who were back on the halfway line waiting to make the catch. And then I came up with it. You see them all there still, walking towards the man who had the ball. Cost them some massive meters. 6 again here. So a full set from just outside the 20 for North Queenslanders. Tarmo plays it. Robson goes a knee. Again, the siren sounds. Back-to-back luck infringements from Brisbane. Robson waits at dummy half. Here's Townsend. Granville is out there. Drinkwater shows it. Gets in behind everybody, and Felt has to only catch it and plant it down.
He's got a calmness about him, hasn't he, Drinkwater, when he comes in from fullback to make that extra man. Just holds the ball up and just has a look over on his right-hand side. Felt is there. No one marking him. I think you'll find that Oates was caught in field. There's Nanai that took the ball from the line, drop out. They go right deep into the line here. Look at the way he just sums it up there. The double pump, passes over the top. Felt gets back in to score the try for the Cowboys. If we can put it down to Nanai's catch from the line drop out. They were under the pump defensively, but they get the ball back. They go up the other end and score.
That was well worked, wasn't it? The way the Townsend went to the line, square, and maintaining that space on the edges for the likes of Kyle Felt, after Drinkwater had got in behind, and the decoy flashing through the frame as well. Everybody playing their part to perfection, and Felt only had to catch it and plant it down to return serve to Corey Oates. And it's one apiece for the wingers in this near grandstand side in the opening half. 16-10 with a kick to come. Valentine Holmes, who kicked the conversion, of course, of his own try on the other side of the field. A chance to repeat the effort from the right-hand side now, after kicking exactly 100 goals at a rate of 82% successfully last season. In front of this full house tonight on the Sunshine Coast. Good crowd last night up there on the Central Coast for the double header. Likewise out at Penrith. Big win by the Bunnies up at Mudgee again in the Charity Shield. And now Holmes trying to bend it back. Oh, he has it on a string. A little bit of fade there. He pilots it between the posts. It's 16-12. The Broncos on top of the Cowboys, Jake.
What a season Scott Drinkwater had last year. 21 try assists for the Cowboys after taking over that fullback role in round 4. When he got it, he never let it go. And you can see why there. He's just got great ball skills. He's now a marquee signing at the Cowboys. He re-signed last year until 2027, which is the longest contract at the Cowboys, alongside Jason Taumalolo and Jeremiah Nanai. So that tells you the opinion the Cowboys have of Scott Drinkwater and what he can do over the next couple of years.
As they are long-term contracts, of course. It was originally a 10-year contract for Jason Taumalolo, who still has another 4 seasons beyond this season to run. He's in year 6 of that 10-year contract at what was $1 million a year. It looks pretty cheap now, doesn't it? Like, it'll look very cheap by the time we get to 2027.
Yeah, look good at the time, but 10 years, 10 million.
Well, the way the salary cap has increased, unless there is a ratcheted clause there that his salary goes up with the salary cap itself. But it was a nice piece of work by the Cowboys administration to lock him up for 10 years. There's been no drop-off in the intensity from Taumalolo either. The kick from Dearden goes down to Oates, and he brings it back here beyond the 20. And they lead by 4. 5 out from halftime. Here is Selwyn Cobbo. Scored that great try off the kick, ricocheted back to him from Cohen Hess. 10 points to 0 at that stage. Charging run by Jesse Arthurs. Coming in midfield. Terrific carry. Mann poking his nose through the line as well. And gets a penalty. The ball came free. Helped out, though, by the Cowboys as they tried to slow down the play of the ball. Griffin Neame, the man who was penalised. And the Broncos get a chance to once again come down here and just edge away from the Cowboys again.
Yeah, it's Mann again who just takes the line on, not afraid to run the football. Won the penalty there. Better when they play that up-tempo style of game, the Broncos. Quick play the balls. They're starting to trouble the Cowboys. Let's see if they can get another one before half-time.
James Samuel.
Another penalty. This one ripped out by James Tarmo. Tapa'u works it down here inside the 20. He'll play it for Pakes. Goes to Haas, taking some stopping. And the shoulder injuries last season, never really fully fit when it was for New South Wales or the Broncos. Set restart once again to the Cowboys, giving away a huge weight of possession here at the back end of this first half. So if the Broncos can make them pay, it's Pakes at dummy half. Goes to Haas, doing the ball playing. Gives it off to Ricky, but nothing doing there. He thought he could get up and go again. The referee said no, and now he's knocked it off.
He got caught a little bit flat-footed there, Ricky. He's such an imposing figure. He'd be better off just getting back and running on the ball a lot harder than that. Got caught flat-footed. They'll challenge this one.
Okay, Benny.
I think it was just a
Captain's
sloppy
challenge
play the
from
ball
Brisbane.
from Ricky.
They're challenging the call of knock-on.
We'll see if this shows was there any interference from the Cowboys. Cohen has still had hold of Jordan Ricky. I think he's just tried to play the ball too quickly, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's put it on Cohen Hess's foot to start with. I don't think he'll get away with that. There's no ripping at the ball or anything there by Hess.
Jordan Ricky places the ball on Hess's foot and it's lost possession of the ball. Yep. Challenge unsuccessful.
And the Broncos, no result there. Using the captain's challenge. It's snake eyes all round for that man, Jordan Ricky.
And that was a terrible play the ball, but he got caught flat-footed. I think if you look at it, it's such a big player. Gets a little bit deep and runs onto the ball. He's had enough experience now playing first grade that he should be able to sum it up a little bit better than that.
So Taulagi playing it here for the Cowboys, and this time it's the Broncos who were too quick. Number of offside penalties and restarts in this game so far. Big kick for line as well. Good meters there.
Both feet here.
Tapa'u working back in the line. Warm start to the season in February as we are. It's tough work for the forwards. The Cowboys, a big deep back line set to this left-hand side. Townsend goes to Tarmo, who bumps his way forward. Brings it back to be stopped there by Pakes. Robson with Neame. Ta'u downstairs. Over the top was Jordan Ricky. They wrap him up very successfully. Townsend with Drinkwater out the back again. Takes them on himself though. Nothing doing as he runs to Haas and also Capewell. 2 plays remaining. It's a slow play the ball under Kurt Capewell there for Chad Townsend. Robson goes to Dearden, coming out quickly. Jock Madden read it very well, and then Marty Tapa'u joins the action. But really rattled Tom Dearden. Well, as we know, is as tough as they come. Drinkwater kicks. Chance there for Hiku. He had it. He lost it. Corey Oates finishes up with it. Here was a chance for a moment. Peter Hiku couldn't hang on to it. And the Broncos to work it away for perhaps their last set of 6 here before the break.
Well, he had a nice clean grab on it there, Hiku. Really should have taken that ball. They keep peppering that side too. Obviously think they can come away with some success. Kicking the left-hand side of the Broncos. It's been a stop-start affair from both sides. Some good patches of footy. A lot of drop ball.
Now to Pa'u here, stopped by Cohen Hess, just outside the Broncos 40. From Madden back on the inside, nice ball. Cobbo is there, beats the tackle of Granville. What a fend he has. Hess did well with the help of Dearden to stop him. Otherwise, there was all sorts of trouble for Scott Drinkwater. Madden will grub it towards the sideline. He takes it out of play. Oh, and there's a flare up here. Cohen Hess and Jock Madden. Talk about David versus Goliath. They've come from all parts. Griffin Neame and Jordan Ricky, the Kiwis mixing it up.
I think they might have felt that he got hit a little bit late there. Madden it was. And then after the kicker, the Broncos boys didn't like it.
There was a very quick reaction here. There it is, taken down. That's in slow-mo, of course, but Broncos teammates of Jock Madden resented that. A bit of a dance. The Kiwi two-step between Griffin Neame and Jordan Ricky. There's the tackle again. Jock Madden was okay. He bounced up and said, as halfbacks tend to do these days. Well, he was on his feet. Tony Staggs was thereabouts over the top of Cohen Hess. Nobody throwing any punches. Tony was right there on top and said, oi, there's no more of that, Cohen. Don't care how big you are, and he is bigger than Texas. He's a massive human.
He's a massive human. I don't think it was too late, that one. There's a halftime siren.
There's no shrinking wallflower. Is Tony Staggs. Neither are the Broncos, maybe. In 2023, they're on top. In the matchup that, as we said, used to be Big Brother versus Little Brother. Well, the team that used to be Big Brother, they've got the lead at the break. 16 points to Valentine Holmes was the first try scorer for the Cowboys. He's converted a couple of times, one off his own try, one from Kyle Felt. And it's for the difference as we're back underway on the Sunshine Coast. Third of 3 games in this pre-season version of Super Saturday. Marty Taupa'u brings it back here and will play it just outside the Broncos 10 to get things underway. Pakes at dummy half. Comes back to the middle where Palacia works it up. Stopped by Robson. Also Griffin Neame. Akura. It's going quickly across the advantage line. Ends up to play it just as fast. And Carrigan, off the back of that carry, has some room to move on 4 players. They're back across the halfway line in this opening set. Pakes does well out of dummy half. Chad Townsend again coming up very quickly on that right-hand side. They just about caught him out. Kick here from Piakura. Wants this to sit down. His kicking license might be revoked after that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate there for the Broncos to start that second half. Gee, it was a good set there. They got marched upfield quite comfortably. Some quick play the balls. And just the kick on the end of it just gives the Cowboys a 7-tackle set now, just the restart. Let's see what they can come up with. A little bit of a stop-start first half from both sides.
Only mass changes in this second half for Todd Payton and the North Queensland Cowboys. Valentine Holmes got going too quickly.
Wait out the scrum, boys.
And secured the ball there as he picked it up off the ground. And there's the coach, who was animated at half-time. Albeit it is, of course, a pre-season game, but they were leaking more points on average than they did in 2022, and that one won't help their cause right there.
Well, you don't expect that from your more experienced players. Valentine Holmes will be disappointed. He'll try and make up for it, there's no doubt about that. Just got in there for a quick scoot.
That was Todd Payton's message at halftime, guys. He wanted more ball in play. He thought the style didn't suit, the style of the game didn't suit the rhythm that the Cowboys like to play at. He wants to make it an arm wrestle and really tire the Broncos out. Kevin Walters not happy with the discipline as well. He just wants better discipline from his side and go on to win this game.
They gave away quite a few set restarts. Flat ball there from Pakes to Carrigan. Play on is the call. Here is Farnworth stopping, stepping back towards the middle. Will pass away in the Granville tackle. Carrigan again shrugs off from Tarmo. Deft pass out the back to Ezra Mann. Yeah, just outside the Cowboys 30. Pakes from dummy half. Goes flat through the hands of Palacia. Pa'u is there, grabbed by Granville. Quick play the ball though. Kevin Waters will like that, and then under pressure, Jock Madden didn't have time to secure that. Cohen Hess is there again. They came together at the back end of the first half.
Yeah.
Hess is right there again to drill him into the turf.
Yeah, I think the service from the inside was very good. The pass just above his head, leaves his ribs open there. Hess right onto him. Cohen has to make the tackle here. He might have a little bit of a Bo Peep there. Could hear the footsteps coming.
He was entitled to. It was a bit of a shocker, the pass, wasn't it, from Keaton Palacia. Way above the head there, and Jock Madden put him in an awkward, unprotected position. He was rattled again by Cohen Hess. Nanai charging forward. Takes it beyond the 40, gets a good offload away to Robson. Granville is there. He played this role a lot last season with both Robson and Granville on the field at the same time. Granville in a running middle third role, just pushing up, looking for an offload. Tamo plays it. Robson goes to Townsend, turns it back on the inside for Granville. Across the face of everybody, he left a couple of them in his wake, including Jordan Ricky. Quick play the ball. Now Dearden. He runs towards Ricky, got away from him, but not Carrigan. Good clean-up work by the lock forward. Robson for Townsend, who just waits a kick. Nobody really flying for the Cowboys. Tamo was thereabouts with coming forward. They weren't going to outleap Selwyn Cobbo. He's a tall fullback, and he's got quite the springs on him as well. He came down with it pretty easily.
Yeah, the great thing about it is he attacks the football. I don't think the height was there from Townsend. Just seems to me like the Broncos just, I know that Reynolds isn't playing, they just lack someone that can direct him in the right areas. They just seem to panic a little bit in their sets.
Good carry there from Corios to get them out of trouble. Set restart here, so more plays coming up for Brisbane. Tamo does well to slow down Taupa'u this time around after Marty. It's quite a lightning quick play the ball in that previous set. Through Palacia, play it to Pakes. Madden, Pa'u, man showing it. Townsend under pressure. Tamu came in to help out there. And he'll play it at the 20. Carrigan goes to Granville, getting so many touches here tonight. Pat Carrigan, more than 120 metres now, running for the game just into the second half. Man at the line, goes out the back. Farnworth, grabbed there by Hiku. They've used up 5. Last here for Brisbane is Mam. Feigns the kick, tries to take them on himself, and goes out the back to Carrigan. Off the knee there, Piakura, and that'll be the changeover.
That's exactly what I was talking about just a second ago, is someone take control of the game. I think Patrick Carrigan is the man to get the ball in the last. They need someone to really try and dominate in the halves for the Brisbane Broncos. And just hand over the ball again to the Cowboys.
Taulagi it is. Brings it forward. No change to our halftime scoreline of 16-12. The Broncos were 17 of 18 completed sets in that first half. The Cowboys were 17 of 19. Good handling in these conditions, as you would expect. Warm and dry. Granville thought he might have been hit high. Robson certainly was pleading a case with the referee. Now Neem got past Carrigan and then lost the ball. Did all the hard work. He was one-on-one with Selwyn Cobbo. We're about to be. He just lost the football.
Yeah, I think he just was trying to think a little bit too quick there after he busts the tackle of Carrigan. Just tries to change the ball in the other hand. You can see the expression there. I think he'll be real happy with himself. He's had some good charges since he's been on. And he'd like to take that one back.
Just a bit too excited, perhaps, finding himself in fresh air. Only the fullback to take on. Quite a collision between the two of them. Cobbo got to him. Another change made by Kevy Walters. Corey Jensen comes back on. Dean Mariner is out there on this right edge for the Broncos as well. Carrigan. Massive game here tonight. 40 out from the Cowboys line. Pakes goes to Matt. Oh boy, players in motion there, but they almost all ended up in the same telephone box as each other. Pa'u gets a breather for the moment. We'll head back to the bench. Here's Corey Jensen. Tamo and Neem. Cohen Hess remains out there on that left edge forward role, taking over from Tom Gilbert after he moved to the Dolphins at the end of 2022. Felt goes up, makes a catch. Has to get to ground for fear of being taken into touch there by Piakura, and he does so as Hiku works it forward beyond the 20 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a great take there.
No change to our halftime scoreline blocker.
Yeah, good take there by Felt. That's more like it. Experienced player. It's not only the take, it's the 15 metres upfield too, straight away to get that set started. Excellent play from him. Starting to carve him up around the middle a little bit. Starting to make some inroads. Robson's having a bit of a field day here.
So set restart again. There's the discipline that Kevin Waters was talking about, and Jake told us about a moment ago in his halftime report. The Broncos transgressing, giving away more tackles here as Nanai will play it. Robson for Tamo. Oh, flat-footed there, that middle third for the Broncos. So he took some big meters, James Tamo. Well inside the red zone, Robson finds Townsend. He's Dearden, out ball Taulani. Oh, no heroics this time. They got there to take him into touch. You were waiting for the big sugar glider flying through the air. Well, hang on a second. They've awarded the try.
That's not a try, is it?
We need to take a look at that one. It looked for all the money in the world as if he'd been taken into touch. The bunker can take a look, of course.
Well, they got on their bikes, the Broncos, didn't they? The scramble come across. Has he lost it on the way down, but
he has lost it here, and now a tweaking of the interpretation, but he's 14 rows into touch, isn't he? Watch this again, loses the ball
he's
there.
Lost it.
I think a fair bit of his body was touching the chalk or beyond as the ball hit the deck, surely.
You could see his reaction to Langi as he got up. He didn't look that excited.
No. Not given what he can normally do. Despite the try being awarded, of course, the bunker can take a look at it. And yes,
Reviewing the grounding.
They get the official signal that they might take a couple more looks at it, unsurprisingly. Here he is. Ball was coming free. He's lost complete control of it there.
Just looking to see if the Cowboys stay in the field of play.
He's lost the ball on the way down.
Ruling has been tweaked. You can lose the grip on the ball, but you see it comes completely away from his arm.
Murray Taulani places his hand on the touch line.
This will be a knock
before losing the ball. We have a decision.
Just to
there's no try and 3 counts.
Complete it. Yes, 3 or 4, maybe even more. But it will be red lights for Murray Taulani. Oh, shock of my life. Todd Smith said, yes, that'll be a try.
Yeah, I always look at the reaction of the player. He knew he didn't score there. Still on the way down.
We get confirmation for that. No try for the Sugar Glider. Boy, he scored some good ones, but none better than that try we mentioned in the first half. Magic round. It was magic and then some. Taulani. It stays a 4-point lead for Brisbane. Half an hour remaining here on the Sunshine Coast. More games to come your way tomorrow. Live on Fox League. Tony Staggs fighting hard. Looks like Xavier Wilson is only just on the field. He'll be taken from the field. Here's a chance for Jordan Ricky. Charging, did and got to him. He had support on the outside, did Ricky. He hung on to it and did and cut him down. Man waits. Goes back to Carrigan. Now back to where the play the ball came from. Now another offload. Good one for Jensen. Spinning and just about getting there. Against his old club. Comes back here. Here's Madden grubbering. Well read by Peter Hiku. He saw that coming from Jock Madden. Circled around behind the front line and comes up with the ball.
They should have scored there. Where was the support on the outside? Ricky decided to throw the dummy and run himself. And they might have scored there. It was a good long-range break. It just showed what skill he has too. Big, powerful fella. Ricky, we mentioned him in the first half. Getting caught flat-footed a couple of times. That's a little bit better there, that run.
Line breaks 3-1. Both of these teams out of the running, of course, as far as the $100,000 pre-season challenge is concerned, after coming up with a draw last week. And now Townsend from just on his own side of halfway. At the 40-20 in the first half. Oates brings it back. Chopped down there by Jake Granville. And they start just inside their own 30. Here is Selwyn Cobbo. He was breathing hard at the back end of the first half. He's doing it even tougher now. Cohen Hess likewise getting a break from Todd Payton for the moment. Wonder what he thinks of what he saw from Cohen Hess as they try to fill that hole left by Tom Gilbert at the end of last season. Mam gave it away to Farnworth. Felt came in, couldn't stop him. Hiku, though, with a second effort, grabs up the Englishman and forces a mistake, and the Cowboys will get a chance here to level the scores, if not hit the lead.
It just looked like they're trying to rush things a little bit. There's a good defence there by Hiku. Just trying to get his arms free. Farnworth to offload the footy. Keep inviting the Cowboys in this sort of field position. They'll make you pay. Couldn't get up over the halfway line that time in that set, the Broncos. He's gift field position now for the Cowboys.
We saw young Xavier Willison come off, guys. That's for a HIA, so we'll monitor him.
Well, that well as he came from the field, so it might have been a very quick trip. The Sunshine Coast Stadium surface itself for Xavier Willison. Here's Jack Kaszewski flying into the defence. Just outside the 30, Robson throws it to Taumalolo, but he takes them on himself. Taupa'u is also back out there. Quick breather for him. We saw him come from the field not that long ago. Out there for Willison, who is taken for that HIA. Townsend back on the inside here for Neem. Taupa'u around the legs once again. Set restart once more. The Broncos inside the 10. Taumalolo. Score on play number 1. Stopped right there. Robson drops back. Townsend, not much happening. Goes back to the right-hand side. Drinkwater under pressure there. 6 again. Is that broken? Or the Broncos just giving away sets of 6 on every play at the moment?
Yeah, they keep getting the footy, don't they? And getting those repeat sets. The Broncos too fast off their line.
Maybe the attendant has a trigger finger. Here's Taumalolo. Dearden out the back. Holmes shuffling. Oh, he had Staggs in trouble there. He did well for Tony Staggs to stay on his feet. Fall over in the line under the stepping there of Val Holmes. Taumalolo goes out the back. Robson, Dearden, Kaszewski was there. Dearden hangs on to it. They've used up 4 in, seems like their 5th set of 6 after all those restarts. Some of those sets were just one play. Townsend, grubbers. It's a good one. Sits up. Corey Oates has to take it dead.
He's got great touch, hasn't he, Chad Townsend? A little kick in and behind. He saw that the Broncos, they did it a couple of times in the first half. The Broncos really sprinting off their line to put pressure on. And a little kick in behind. It's a good play. Oates has to clean up for the Broncos.
So the Cowboys go short and get a result when they kick to Jeremiah Nanai in the first half. What are the Broncos going to do here? Madden is going long. Up towards the sideline. Awkward one to handle. Nanai did well.
Look at his hands.
Oh, hands of glue. Sponsored by Tarzan's Grip. Here is Griffin Neal. We'll play it just outside the 30. Robson. Reuben Cotter. Will tear away in 22. What's he got in season 23? Now it comes back from Townsend to Dearden. They bypass Kaszewski. Holmes against Staggs again. Open the space for Taulani. He's under pressure. He's into touch. Surely. Once again gets a big head rub there from Katoni Staggs. He likes to mix it up, doesn't he, Katoni?
Yeah, he's got great strength, Katoni Staggs. Not an easy man to put down. Just watch him manhandle him here. Tries to come back in field. Here's Staggs.
Okay, Benny.
That's great strength.
Captain's challenge from the Cowboys. They're challenging the decision of intertouch.
We're going to say he got the ball away before he put a foot on the line.
Just determining whether Murray Taulagi goes into touch before passing the ball.
Oh, he has, you know. I had him on the line once again without question, but he's, what would he be? A centimetre?
Yep.
Definitely some green turf there between that boot and the sideline, and then I don't think it touches the line. It doesn't touch it. He gets rid of it. And it came back to
Murray Taulagi stays
Valentine
in the field of play.
The Broncos all stop. The referee
And
blew
the
his
ball is,
whistle.
we have a mutual infringement.
So
Cowboys.
play the ball. Yeah, the tackle back as well. So we tackle 2.
Challenge
We'll get it
successful.
back. And they've got tackles to burn here from inside the 20. Good challenge.
That's a great challenge. Very confident. Keeping his feet in the field of play. Get the ball back on the inside. The Cowboys with another opportunity. I think it's only the second tackle.
Might have been a good thing he didn't go into touch, because Todd Payton there was staring daggers at his team from the coach's box. Don't think he was all impressed with the play they put on that had them out there on the sideline under great pressure from the Broncos early in the set of 6. Now you get a do-over though, as Taumalolo takes some stopping there. 3 of them combined, including Billy Walters, who's back on deck for the Broncos. Townsend back underneath for Gashevsky. They'll play it here for Robson. They've got 2 plays remaining. Now Cotter. No thought of tipping it on. And pushing up on his outside. He's still going. Reuben Cotter. Dragged down eventually by Carrigan and also Jensen. Here's the last. Townsend will kick it. He lofts it out wide. Well, nothing doing there. Cobbo, though, knocked it on. Felt keeps it in play, and it's 6 more for the Cowboys.
Gee, they're lucky to get away with that. They've got a score here, haven't they? The Cowboys, with the amount of ball that they've had.
Seemed to be a real miscue off the boot of Chad Townsend, and then Cobbo coughed it up. Cowboys get it back. Bizarre play. Hiku playing it. Robson still searching for this try and level things up. Reuben Cotter fending away from Ezra Mam, who got the knock to the mouth. Griffin Neem burrow his way in. Walters is there. So it must be a cure-up as Robson spins it away from Dearden. Goes to Drinkwater. Touch back towards Carrigan. Through a lot of work on both sides of the ball. Pat Carrigan here this evening. Robson again. Taumalolo. Neem is there once again. Just keep punching it through the forwards. A conservative set from the Cowboys on top of the line. Drinkwater this time at first receiver. Dearden to the outside. Dumps it out the back. Gashevsky goes back to Drinkwater. He lost one thinking about Nanai. Never got as wide as him. Hiku, Fiji Sevens. Here's Felt. Corio twins the race.
Well, they get the ball back again, the Cowboys. A little bit of tunnel ball in that set.
Shot clock on.
He has to clean up. Geez, he had to do some work at the back there to clean up. Corey Oates. He forced the line drop out again.
Good battle between those two. Kyle Felt, Corey Oates. And there's a split so far tonight as far as try scoring, 1 apiece. They go long again, so no short ones from the Broncos, which is interesting. A number of teams, certainly last season, majority of their dropouts were short. Cowboys with a result already tonight, but the Broncos determined they're going long. Taumalolo steps away there from Ricky. 2 plays gone. They're still outside the 20. Townsend is flat. He's got Dearden on his outside. Great work. Tom Dearden ghosted his way through. Here's Felt trying to find a way to the line. They got across in time. It was Farnworth in particular who stopped him from scoring. Goes back through Drinkwater again. What work it was by Dearden. Didn't seem to be a lot on, but he changed his angle as he went to the line. Found himself in space. Now, Pa'u has an issue behind the play. Here's Dearden. Gives it to Cotter. Stopped by Walters. And yes, that man once again, Pat Carrigan. Last play. Drinkwater. Grubbers. Came off a Bronco. Straight to Jeremiah Nanai. The ball just seems to find him, no matter where he is. And the Cowboys finally have levelled it up. It's 16 apiece.
Yeah, and they get the try off the ricochet after the Tom Dearden break. Just wonderful footwork. You mentioned that was beautiful stuff there. The grubber kick through, ricochet. He's got wonderful hands. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. Nanai finishes that one off. Just the ricochet off. Catches the ball, just lands right in his lap. And finally, with all the football, Kevin Walters will be pretty happy with their on-goal defence. Although, I don't know if the Cowboys have thrown that much at them. A lot of one-out running. They finally get the try.
They've certainly had by far the better of possession in this second half. 94 running metres, but it's when he gets inside the 20, whether it's the ball in his hands or chasing through on a kick from Townsend or Dearden or Drinkwater. They have so many options. And after all those sets in a row, they've had 6 of the last 7 sets. And the one Broncos set was one play only. And he put it down, of course, on that kick. Selwyn Cobbo got a touch, and after that, it's the Cowboys who've had all the ball, and they found a way to score finally. Just on 66% of possession in this second half. And off the back of that, they have the lead. From right in front, Valentine Holmes converts. It's the Cowboys 18, the Broncos 16, and Todd Payton looks a little more happy about what he's seen. Perhaps he's happy to see all those conservative plays inside the red zone with the forwards just pounding it away.
Well, they've had a lot of good contributors to the game. Cotter's been outstanding, just one off the ruck. As I mentioned, they haven't had that many offloads in this game. Just be happy to hitting the ball up. Tom Malolo's been outstanding.
So Reece Robson remains on the field. Plenty of game time tonight for him. Still some players to make an appearance off the bench for both teams. As we go downstairs again to Jake.
Jeremiah Nanai, what a season he had last year. A breakthrough start in the NRL. Won Dally M Rookie of the Year, represented Queensland and Australia. And then he caps it off with re-signing with the Cowboys this week and through to 2027. He is going to be a star for a very long time. He scored 17 tries last year. Can he top that this year? He's in try-scoring form already.
In 2021, he had the option to sign a long-term deal with the Cowboys and chose to extend by just the 1 year to really back himself. Boy, didn't that work out well. His price just rocketed.
Well, he would have been one of the hottest players on the market. And then I reckon every side in the NRL would love a back rower like that.
Here's McLean now. To pile on some points in this final quarter of the game. Oh, Chad Townsend. He had Drinkwater and Dearden out on this left-hand side waiting for it to put something on. He'd passed it before he caught it and knocks it on in the process. Just off the hip there. We're back underway. 18 remaining. It's a 2-point game. Both these teams featured in draws last week. There'll be some sort of price about another draw here tonight.
I just want to see how hungry the Broncos are. Right? Being a little bit rudderless. I know they're missing their playmaker. But someone's got to step up and take control.
It goes from Walters to Carrigan.
He's been the best player on the field, Carrigan.
Seems like he's had his own football out there. It's come to him so much. Here's the kick. In behind Taulagi. Boy, it was a chance of staying in play there. Mariner was pushing through to put some pressure on them, and it eventually just went into touch. Josh Rogers is out there, got a bit of game time last week in that draw against the Titans. So we'll see where he lines up in the halves, you would imagine. 5'8" from the Burleigh Bears, and he does line up at the 3 spot on this right-hand side. Now it's Hiku. You get things going for North Queensland. Both coaches wouldn't mind this situation, see how their teams handle a close game. The Cowboys trying to protect, if not build, on the lead. The Broncos trying to keep their composure, get themselves some decent sets inside Cowboys territory and put on points to retake the lead. Cotter playing. And Robson to McLean, Taumalolo. Bounce through the tackle there of Biakura and also Mam, and yes, Pat Carrigan. 155 metres running, almost 30 tackles as well. In a big effort in a pre-season hit out. Townsend, no mistake this time. Puts it up. Here comes Cobbo. He once again puts it down. Nanai was there and made contact with him.
Involved. He's inside the 10 metres.
He was inside the 10. Offside is the call.
Be interesting to see that one again. There he is in front of the kicker. Always contesting the high ball. Gee, they've got some great athletes, haven't they? The Cowboys, they go hard. Here's the young fella coming on now.
Indeed it is Blake Moser, still just 18 years of age. Rolling off the Keebra Park High School production line. And the wraps on him, they are massive. All the experts have seen him play coming through the ranks. They say he is the real deal, and it could be a long-term prospect for the Broncos and the NRL. Rangy style for a dummy half player. He's a tall one. Gets out of dummy half here. Comes to this left-hand side where Cobbo looms up. Gives it back to Moser. Stays alive, and the tackle there from Jason Taumalolo. There's a welcome to first grade. They're playing here just outside the 20. Now man. Plays it back on the inside for Ricky. Cobbo's there again. His lungs were hurting at the back end of the first half. Here he is at the back end of the second half, and he's still charging hard. Here's Selwyn Cobbo. That's encouraging. Farnworth can't round it up. It goes backwards there. Comes from Palacia. Tipping it forward. A chance for Hoyter. The ball taken dead. And Scott Drinkwater wants a quick restart.
Well, they've finally found a restart, haven't they? The Broncos have kicked the ball dead in goal a couple of times in this game. Oh, that's clever play.
Was that a drop out? Was that a drop kick? Drinkwater, well, he dropped the ball, and only just before it bounced again, he got a foot on it and ends up with the ball himself.
He would have fell out of the grandstand, Kevy.
The line was early there, the whole line.
With no one in front there. It's clever play.
Watch this again. I don't know if I've ever seen a drop kick like that.
Well, I think he changed his mind mid-kick.
I think he did. Steve Georgalis, he's still laughing about it. Georgie up there in the coach's box. He can't believe that replay that he's just seen. Drinkwater gets away with one. Unconventional as it was, it works out though. They're 2 for 2 for the short ones. I'm telling you, Stephen, got to go short.
Just positional play there for the Broncos. They'll be filthy about that.
Townsend for Reuben Cotter.
Doesn't leave anything in the tank, does he, Cotter?
Great to watch.
Every time he plays, wholehearted.
Taumalolo. He sets the standard for them. And he's back here in the tackle of Moser and also Carrigan. Granville in there at dummy half. Looking after things for the Cowboys with Robson off the field for the moment. Drinkwater taking a stronger hand at first receiver. Did and goes to Gashevsky. Good tackle there by Mariner. Jamming in on this right-hand side. Granville, last play. Townsend kicks. Looking for Nanai. Hiku's there, in fact. Ended up with it.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to say knocked on.
You want it?
Into Herbie Farnworth. That'll be the changeover.
Challenge?
They just seem to hang on all the time, don't they? The Broncos at the back
Benny.
being put under all sorts
Captain's
of pressure.
challenge from the Cowboys.
Challenging
the
this
call
one.
of knock-on from Peter Hiku.
They get themselves in good positions, don't they, the chasers?
Just looking to see if there was a knock-on from Peter Hiku.
He ends up on his back here. And then Farnworth does eventually make contact with the ball. It touches Hiku there again. I would have determined that that's already constituted a knock on, but even if it is knocked backwards, Farnworth, there's the ball. Looks like it's going towards the opponent's goal line, doesn't it, there? And hits the turf.
I reckon he knocks on again there.
Peter Hiku knocks the ball forward and doesn't regain possession. Challenge unsuccessful.
That's unsuccessful. Play the ball there, the Broncos.
So we're done for challenges. We can dispense with them for the rest of the 12 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. As the Broncos remain very much in this contest, looking for a win here in the pre-season. The Queensland derby against their northern neighbours. They led 10 points to nil. They've been outscored 18-6 from that point on, which was either back in the 8th minute. Tries to Kurt Capewell and Selwyn Cobbo in the first 8. Jensen brings it back towards the halfway line. Moser looking for a penalty, doesn't get one. Tapa'u stands, delivers it back, comes from Palacia. Cobbo tips it on. He's put Ricky under pressure. Play on, no knock on.
The first touch.
They haven't got their challenge, so even if it was backwards, it doesn't matter because they've turned it over. Tap there between Mariner and Tau Lungi. Pat Carrigan, I dare say, like Payne Haas, it's game over for him tonight. What an effort from him.
Well, he's been unbelievable, hasn't he? Just tried to get the Broncos on the front foot every time that he carried the football. And even defensively, we probably sometimes, when a bloke runs the ball so well, you probably forget about how many tackles he's made, but he's been the best player out there.
Joining quarter takes them on. Carrigan, his line, 16 carries, 163 metres, 28 tackles. Number of tackle busts, 3 tackle busts and 4 offloads as well. Plus all the other defensive involvements. There's a big night for Pat Carrigan. Here's Cotter. Spin away there from the tackle. Peter Cura. Granville waits that dummy half. Taumalolo back on the angle. Townsend's head play. Drinkwater tried to keep it in play. He was at speed, just didn't get the bounce he was looking for.
Yeah, set play there again. They do it so well. That's Todd Payton's coaching. Always something and always at you. Something they would have practiced a lot at training. Just a little bit too much on the kick. Had it been a bit shorter, I reckon we would have seen a try there to Drinkwater.
Don't let go.
That was a nicely worked play. Just needed a bounce for the flying fullback. Instead, the Broncos get a penalty as we approach the 10-minute mark remaining. Possession rate in the second half. Almost 2/3 of the ball going the way of the Cowboys. They should have scored a few more points off the back of that, you'd imagine.
Yeah, and they've been in good field position too. It's been inside the 20 and the 30 on the attacking raids. The Broncos, you've got to give them a bit of credit for the defence. Something they would have worked on over the off-season. They just fell off the cliff last season, didn't they? They only won from the last 6 games.
They did. Jensen here, inside the 20. Moser. Counting numbers, goes to the left-hand side. From Rogers, here's Piacuro, takes it down. 10 metres out. Moser at dummy half again. Runs a long way, turns it back on the inside for Tapa'u. He runs towards the defence of McLean and also Nanai. And there's one left here for Brisbane. Comes deep, kick for Rogers, out towards the wing, flying high. What a catch by Jesse Arthurs. A terrific kick and the catch was perfect. Arthurs scores, puts the Broncos back in front.
That's a great try, isn't it, from the Broncos? Hasn't had any ball so far in this second half. Got themselves in a position, the crossfield kick. Perfectly weighted, but Arthurs, what a take. 2 hands above his head. It's a wonderful try from the Broncos. We've seen a contest with all the back 3 here this evening. Been under plenty of pressure. It's just great to watch. Double-handed grab there. The Broncos are in.
Terrific kick by the burly Bear, who wasn't in the side until Adam Reynolds suffered that back problem, which ruled him out for tonight's game against the Cowboys. So Josh Rogers comes in, with some game time in this second half, and he couldn't put it on a platter any better. So Jesse Arthurs, who's back with the Broncos after that loan deal with the Warriors. 41 games in his NRL career, as he listens in to the words of the sage himself, Alfie. And exactly what they have to do to protect this lead and get home in the remaining 7 minutes.
You talk about blokes who had a great will to win. There's young Alfred out there shouting and barking the orders.
His old running mate up there in the coach's box is now the head coach. They're quite the duo, Kevy and Alfie. Now Rogers, after providing that kick for Jesse Arthurs, takes over the goal kicking here. And sprays it away to the right-hand side. And played a big role for this man to score the try that puts the Broncos back in front. Brisbane, they lead 20 points to 18.
It's a tough sort of kick because you know you're going to get hit anyway. Just lands it on the dime. A good finish there, but Rogers it was with the kick with the crossfield. He was put under pressure, just held his nerve. Goes in front again.
2.5 minutes to go, Bronx Nation. Let them know you're here.
The Cowboys have gone short on dropouts. They don't go short off the kickoff here. So there goes Selwyn Cobbo's had a few moments with his hands in this second half. No mistake there, though, on the restart. And it's Palacia to play it for Brisbane. Tapa'u working it forward.
It's amazing they're in front, isn't it? They haven't had any field position, the Broncos, in this second half. Just seems the whole half have been working off their own line. It's been a good effort.
Moser was weaving there, had to stop on his run for fear of giving away an obstruction play. Put it back to the halfway line on 4 plays. Teenager feeds it through this right-hand side. Ricky runs towards Tom Dearden. Any of the big names of the Cowboys, they've played big minutes here tonight. Full game for Townsend and Dearden. Cobbo Taulagi comes up with an intercept. You've got the defence there of Jordan Ricky to beat, then pushing backwards. Good tackle made by Mariner. He stops him running away to score a try. And Elliott is out there now for the Cowboys. Getting a cup of coffee here in the nightcap game in the last 6 minutes. Granville comes to Townsend. On his right-hand side, Riley Price is out there, taking it down inside the 20. Granville wants a quick play the ball. Townsend rolling towards the line. The pass was forward from dummy half. It all happened too quickly. Jake Granville can't believe it.
Yeah, just trying to get things going here. Townsend taking a front rower's run there next to the ruck. Just got in front. It was a poor pass from dummy half. And Granville. A good run by young Price. I've seen him a little bit too. He's going to be a good player. Here's the intercept.
Clever work by the Sugar Glider. Murray Taulagi coming up with the intercept, and Chad Townsend, he was determined. He was going at the forwards there, backpedaling as they were to try and get themselves onside. Instead, the pass from Granville on the parallel. Hoyter to play it here. Moser out of dummy half. Mariner moving backwards here, headed towards the sideline by Elliott and also Taulagi. We've got less than 5 remaining. The Broncos lead the Cowboys by 2. Ricky playing it. Tapa'u works it up towards Granville. Took the sting out of that run, and then McLean finished him off.
Get there!
Great play of the ball. The kick from maybe just inside the 40 by Rogers. Played off the boot by Drinkwater. Unhurried to gain possession and then brings it back, and then coming down. I think Moser throwing himself into the contact of Drinkwater. Here's Ben Hampton. The last of the Cowboys are going to touch here tonight in a 20-man team named by Todd Payton. Townsend going again. Thought they might have been offside. No restart, no whistle. And there he is, screaming at the referee saying surely they're offside. Now Townsend, rather Drinkwater, gives it away to Elliott. And they stop him just inside the Broncos 40. Last play. Needing a result quickly here. Dearden puts it up. They've got results off kicks in this second half. Tap back attempted there by Hampton. Bringing it down. Deloise Hoyter has it for Brisbane. And they've got maybe a couple more sets to defend to try and take away this result. Arthurs splits everybody. Runs to Drinkwater. Gives it to Cobbo. Taulagi has him. It goes out the back. Here's Mariner. Granville cuts him down.
The great thing about that, they haven't gone into their shell. Three minutes to go before full time. They keep playing the Broncos. That was a good passage of play there.
And they can put the Cowboys away right here as Jensen plays it. Moser, head fake out of dummy half. Does some dancing. Moon didn't know where the ball went. Came back to be played here by Selwyn Cobbo. Corey Pankes is also back out there. It's a platoon effort as far as the dummy halves are concerned. Two of them out there. And now the kick from Rogers. Drinkwater hoping it was going to go dead. It was well weighted again. The Tyro 5/8. And they're just about home. The Cowboys, though, we know they are going short here. More regulation kick from Drinkwater. It's a good one. Felt tapped it backwards. Straight to Corey Pankes, though. Brisbane come up with it. Here's Pankes, taken down there by Dearden. They've got 2 minutes remaining. Cobbo is going to go the full 80 here tonight. And Pankes to Park. Nothing doing there for Marty as he takes it to ground. Neem on top of him. McLean there as well. And Moser rubbers. Neem forces the ball in the in goal, and Moser will use up some time on the clock. A heads-up piece of play there by the teenager to try and use up some of the precious seconds ticking by. They go short again. It was another beauty by the Cowboys, and here they are. Townsend for Hampton. Oh, he's done a hamstring. A sniper got him.
Oh, he pulled up pretty quickly there. He'll do it tough to get up and play the ball. He does that.
Oh, he's a real speedster, but he went down like he had been picked off from the grassy knoll here at Sunshine Coast Stadium.
Well, I'll tell you what, Townsend got the ball away pretty quickly. He didn't want to run.
A chance for the Cowboys as we go towards the final 60 seconds. Dearden gives it to McLean. Just take it forward, they say, Jordan. He obliges, and they're back inside the red zone. What a moment. Drinkwater. And support back on the inside comes out to Elliott. Good stop there. Mariner combines with Arthurs. And they've put it down. Brendan Elliott makes the mistake. And that should mean the Broncos get home tonight. Todd Payton is a little bit out of gear, having just seen that.
Well, he'd be filthy. They put themselves into a position to win this game. Long-range break up the right-hand side there. And it's Elliott just can't get to his feet to play the ball, knocks it on. The Broncos are going to hang on here.
And they have found a way against a weight of possession in this second half, with the Cowboys enjoying almost 2/3 of the ball for much of the second half. It's going to end up with 57% possession in their favour, but the result will go to the Brisbane Broncos here tonight. They'll finish the pre-season with a draw last week against the Titans and a victory tonight against the North Queensland Cowboys. At full time at Sunshine Coast Stadium, Brisbane 20, the Cowboys 18.